If a nation doesn't position itself, if a nation does not do the internal work needed, investors will tell you, we have Nigeria on our radar, but it is not a priority. So whatever it is that government tried to pull off within 72 hours, I am grateful for those who have stood their ground, who have traveled, who have spent money, booking your hotel, booking your ground. But we are all Nigerians here. I'm happy the global accelerators have not even come in. Like I said, what you are putting on, now me talk, now me go send out to presidency and the ministry. Actually, I've sent a message to the ministry that will roll for delegation here. We had a very colorful event. The minister was around. It wasn't complete. It flew in. So all of Marisa, we apologize again. I personally was there 5 a.m. I cancelled the events because of the pressure that I faced yesterday. If what happened yesterday was, you will receive all the pictures, the videos, the press release, and others. Some I even woke up, I didn't know it was on TVC. And for me yesterday, I felt if that is the only one they say we should do, no problem. Until I got the call from Ambassador Fidelis, who also at some point personally contacted the ministry. That's about a month or two ago. I'm mentioning the ones who I say, yes, it's called us, it's sent a bill. So it means we are not scammers. It means we are not liars. It means if we say we are working with the government, we are working with the government. I decided to put my chest out because I was on my way to Rotary. I took a master's degree that nobody sends me because I did not want to talk about the delay, the confusion. But on my way, 1 week to departure, somebody was somewhere in another country. They were talking marine and blue economy, and they said they should call me, and I should ensure that that investment comes, which is to the tune of $1 billion to $3 billion. It means every one of us in this room, from any state, from any organization, if we do not internally coordinate, we cannot make any business case anywhere. What they will say, Nigerians, they are not serious. Nigerians, they are not structured. Nigerians, that's why we have potential. It's not translating to anything. We have to tell ourselves the truth. The truth is not about those of you here. But we have to let you know why this disorganization, because some people want to do that, and somebody in this room counseled me. We have been through this pressure before. Do this, do that, put a press out there, this and that, let everybody reconvene. And I thank you for bearing with us. Please, sir, kindly come and deliver the speech of the king. And please extend our sincere appreciation on behalf of His Excellency, Dr. Adeboyega Isiaka Oyetola, CON, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy. He was here with us in the body yesterday. He flew back to the president. The president, I'm aware, is heading on. There's 8 of the president are supposed to be here. The MD of MPA is coming. The Executive Secretary of Nigeria Shippers Council delivered a speech here. The technical advisor to the Honorable Minister delivered a speech here yesterday. It is not confusion. It's about the fact that despite all this, our engagement everywhere, the minister insisted it must happen. The only of worry sending you, sir, to deliver a speech, will send it to the media, and we do appreciate it. And please work with the committee that has come from Delta. I personally, after this event, would come back. You are ready. That is what Delta is saying. We are ready to coordinate ourselves internally. Open the door for this investment to come into our own state. If I get you right, that is what your body language, sacrifice, coordination, that is what it has said. Yesterday we made another announcement also. There are some group of 36 people who have been pillars across every state. There is a program that was supposed to be launched which has to do with young people in every state, just like I told you. If Ibaka happened, Akwa Ibom youth must have jobs there. You understand? If you give them the necessary skill, the necessary push and all that, and other states, we have announced on behalf of the minister and on behalf of the president that once they clear all this busy, they will fix a gate inside the state house. Even if it's a meeting of 100 people, those of you who have stayed here in this confusion of the last 2 or 3 days, we will extend an invitation to you to be part of that. Because the president could not be with us yesterday and the minister could not stay. But he told his technical assistant to stay on ground to make sure that anybody that wants to see him on this behalf, they are on ground. Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Olo of Warri, Ugyame Tuashe III, CFR, I made this speech today. To the Honorable Minister for the Marine and Blue Economy and the Minister for the FCT and every other personality being present. I want to begin by expressing my profound appreciation to the federal government of Nigeria, particularly the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, for the vision and the deliberate efforts over the past 3 years to reposition Nigeria's maritime and coastal assets as engines for national growth. I commend the organizers of the Blue Economy Investment Summit for convening such a timely and strategic platform where stakeholders can come together to meet and deliberate. I also want to acknowledge the Delta State Governor, in person of Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori, for his resolve in advancing the blue economic potentials to the state. Warri Kingdom stretches across strategic coastal corridors in Warri North, Warri South, and Warri Southwest, local government areas in Delta State. From the ocean shores at Uborodo, which plays host to the Escravos terminal. I know a lot of us know the Escravos, but that place is Uborodo. Agor, Oriri, Batere, and Ogeye, down through beautiful islands and communities along the Warri and Benin rivers. This sits at the critical intersection of maritime trade routes, fisheries resources, mangrove ecosystems, and coastal enterprise potentials, especially the cocoa export processing zone. The Warri Kingdom hosts 2 major seaports, the Cocoa Deep Sea and the Warri Seaports, which needs to be revitalized and bring into full scale of operations. This is not a limitation, but rather it is an opportunity. In Warri Kingdom, we have chosen to participate. We are opening our coastal communities, including the Uborodo and Cocoa, to structured investable partnerships across fisheries, eco-tourism, renewable energy, waste management, shipbuilding, maritime transport and logistics, and maritime carriers. To unlock these opportunities, we recognize that government alone cannot do this. So what is required is a public-private partnership framework, bringing together government, private capital, development finance, communities, and traditional institutions Warri Kingdom stands to provide alignment, legitimacy, and stability. It is in this context that we are pleased to announce that the Warri Blue Economic Summit will be announced anytime soon around June. Warri Blue Economic Summit will be a deal room, a partnership platform, and a catalyst for bankable blue economic projects. Warri Kingdom is open for partnership. The future of Nigeria's blue economy will be built in places like Warri, where the waters from the ocean through to the Warri and Bini rivers meet enterprise. I look forward to welcoming you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Standing on existing protocols, I am Ambassador Fidelis Unu, a Blue Economy Advocate. I am the Director General for Delta Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. I'm also the Vice President for the Blue Economy of the Coalition of South-South Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. I extend my regards and greetings from my presidents, President of COSIMA being Honorable Austin Atapo, and the President of DASIMA being Engineer Anthony Oko. I also have authored a book called Blue Hustle, Entrepreneurship and Innovation in the Nigerian Blue Economy. And I'm pretty honored and excited to be here. I really do appreciate what Madam Ronke Kosoko is doing. When I first saw our adverts on the papers, and I was like, this is something we should key into, the Chambers of Commerce should key into. My national president obviously will be hearing about this, Engineer Jani Ibrahim, and I extend my regards on his behalf as well. I know that there has been challenges over this program, but every good thing always starts with a teething problem. But even as that, it was also a sign that what you are doing is meaningful and sustainable. Anything that is sustainable usually starts with this kind of problems. And we are happy to hear from what you said earlier, that you are going to be extending this same event to Delta State. We look forward to hosting you in Delta State, and we hope that the partnership that we hope has begun in this program will transcend every other problem that you have been going through. Bigger and better things are coming for our nation, for our state, and for, in fact, the Gulf of Guinea. I also advocate for cooperation and cross-country collaboration with sector participants in the Gulf of Guinea as well. We held a program webinar just recently in February, where the two ministers, including our own Honorable Minister, with His Excellency Oyetola Adegoyega, was represented, and the Honorable Minister for Fisheries was in attendance in Ghana. That's the Ghanaian Honorable Minister for Fisheries. Her name is Emilia Arthur. And it was a very reasonable thing. We have considered a working group to see how we can draw in partnerships and collaborations and eventually come up with a project that is not just about Nigeria, but will also impact the Gulf of Guinea. So we are hoping through this platform, and that's why I'm here, that through this platform we can also get more partners with us to see how we can drive private sector driven initiatives in the whole of the Gulf of Guinea. The ocean doesn't know any boundaries. The ocean doesn't know that, okay, this is Nigeria or this is Ghana. So whatever affects ocean ecosystems in Nigeria, invariably, sooner or later, will affect what is happening in the marine ecosystems in Ghana. And it goes on like that. So we're hoping that when we have such partnerships, we can come up with solutions that will help mitigate some of the challenges we are facing, such as IU fishing, ocean acidification, piracy, and all those things that make the Gulf of Guinea look like a problematic situation. But one good thing I want to say before I drop the microphone, if there's any time that is strategic for Nigeria to cash in on what we have, not just Nigeria now, the whole of the Gulf of Guinea, to cash on what we have as the ocean resource is now, largely because of what is going on in the Middle East, in particular the Strait of Hormuz, and how it's affecting the whole country. I hope that from programs such as this, we can drive our government to preparing us for the opportunities that are coming to us, because we're also an oil and gas nation. And so we can provide for some of these countries that are choked by what is going on in the Middle East. Most of what they need, is it oil, is it gas? Asia, that's what they're buying from the Middle East. We can provide that. So this is a good time as any for the Gulf of Guinea and Nigeria in particular, the largest economy in Africa, to key in on these opportunities and provide solutions to the world. So thank you once again, Madam Ronke. It's a pleasure meeting you for the first time. I hope there will be many other occasions where we will see and collaborate further. I'm very happy, and I honor my state's government represented here by, I'm sure, the directors and commissioners that are here present, and every guest here. Welcome, and look forward to more conversations going forward. Thank you very much.
The head of agencies, each and every one under the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, were here yesterday. And the managing director of the Nigerian Port Authority sent a message that he was going to be represented. Like I said, the minister spoke here yesterday, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Sports Council, the NIWA, National Inland Waterways Authority, sent a delegation. They were here yesterday. Some of them had come in. NIWA, are you in the room?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, are the others coming?
Yes,
Because they have a session. Just like Ambassador said now, the challenge globally is to Nigeria's advantage. I'm sorry, someone counseled me and said, Madam, no matter what is happening, I'm calm. But like I said, I told them in the midst of this challenge that imagine if all the pressure, in fact, the day I understood Nigeria was when they began to fight Dangote. If you can find somebody that has invested $20 billion, what if that refinery was not there when this Iran war started? Then all the African nations now began to say, we better look towards Nigeria. But when we were shouting, but I don't need to, because our inland waterways will be developed. In fact, it's one of the things I told you. If Dangote refinery alone is what will force us to develop our inland waterways, let's refined crude be moving from Lagos to anywhere by water. Tankers will reduce on the road. A whole lot of things will open up. Barge operators, barge ownership, boat operators, boat building, fishermen, everything. And that's the ecosystem that we're talking about. But without wasting too much of our time, sir, you can see there's only your banner that is here. I knew it was coming. And that's why, Father, we removed all the banners. The MPA was there because it's coming. And we welcome you, sir, Mr. Deputy, to make your presentation on behalf of the Managing Director, Nigerian Port Authority, Mr. Abubakar Tansogo.
Yeah, good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The Managing Director was supposed to be here yesterday, but he was away in Senegal for another national assignment. And I want to deliver his remark, the Managing Director remark that Dr. Abubakar Tansogo. I want to deliver his remark for this event here. It gives me immense joy to be part of this strategic investment summit for the blue economy. We are maritime experts are congregating to dilate on contemporary and topical issues of this nature. I wish to set the tone that the time has come for paradigm shifts in Nigerian macroeconomic structure towards embracing exploitation of abundant resources of our marine economy with sustainable development goal in view. Among the subsets of the blue economy is the nation port system, which, if properly annexed and run along best practices, is sufficient to be the mainstay of Nigerian economy. A good example of countries that power their economy via marine economy are Singapore, Morocco, and a host of others. By divine providence, given the huge population of Nigeria and the ownership of more than 60% of West African GDP, Nigeria Nigerian port is naturally positioned to be the hub for the region. However, the reverse is the case, owing to myriads of issues bedeviling our port system. However, I wish to assure this great audience that efforts are in place toward repositioning our port system towards a path of competitiveness and attainment of its vision of being the maritime logistic hub for sustainable port services in Africa via a number of strategic initiatives that's currently in place. One, the issue of port modernization. Number two, the implementation of a single window which has gone online. The port community system, the development of deep waters ports, and digitalization of port processes and procedures. Now, let me comment on development of deep water ports. One of the successes we have recorded in this area was that of Lekki Port. As we speak today, Lekki Port controls close to 50% of our national traffic. And that's to tell you the immense benefits, the multiplier effects when we have a deep sea port in place. And record that we have one now, and there are a lot of plans in place to still open up a number of other deep sea ports. The whole idea of all these strategic initiatives is to mainstream our port into global port system with the concomitant effects of improving our liner connectivity, expanding bigger vessels, creating an environment for ease of doing business with ultimate impacts on cargo traffic and revenue. In conclusion, given the dynamic nature of port business, the subject matter of port competitiveness should be at the front burner of our endeavor via providing efficient port services at the right price going forward. It should be noted that competitive position of a port is driven by strategic port positioning, port charges, terminal efficiency, and interland connectivity, among others. In addition, for our port to be at the cutting edge of competition, it should be ready to respond to new requirements in shipping and port operations. This is what explains huge investments of the present administration on port modernization of decadent port infrastructure, implementation of single window system, port community system, and deliberate growth of non-oil export to grow our throughput in order to reduce the freight costs. It is therefore envisaged that with the commitment of management of Nigerian Port Authority to the above initiatives, Nigerian port system will enter a new dispensation to function as a hub for the region, as well as achieving the SDG goal number 9, which include infrastructure development, sustainable industrialization, and innovation. On this note, I wish this gathering an impactful deliberations. Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, we are supposed to go into your session now. Where are you, principal? Your session is Unlocking Nigeria's 50 billion agribusiness opportunity, technology, inland waterways, and then paths to food security. Federal Ministry of Agriculture will also go through that. National Inland Waterways is your session because you are the custodian of the water space. Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, the minister was represented here yesterday. I will get in touch with the president's aide that was supposed to be doing one thing that the people who are supposed to handle the financing of the economy, they arrived yesterday, or very jet lagged. I'm trying to reach them. They are unlocking, their own session is unlocking growth financing in Nigeria, the case for the first transaction. CBN representative that walked in earlier, are they here? CBN is coming, SEC and all that, they organized them. So we wait. Why again did they always say new one? Are we all together? One of the things that I'm saying, we have interfaced with these people, and what they said to us is what we are relaying back to you. They wanted us to have done 70-80% of the honing, HONING. internally that we will now bring to them. The ones that we know, Mr. Working is a senior special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on the blue economy. You are welcome, Mr. Luada. On behalf of Lagos State, I will be right. I know you told me that you are going to be a bit behind, and I know it's because of the projects being commissioned in Lagos. But I've spoken about Lagos before you came. Even though I'm a Lagosian, I said we don't need more investments in Lagos because my governor said some people still want to come and build refinery. And in my mind, we're just going to get into the inland waterways, and because you are here, you will speak to Omi Eko and all that. Other states are here. I'm sorry, permit me to do that a bit digression. We're about going into a session on inland waterways, which is the major space where Lagos State has made a difference. A huge difference that other states are not just looking to replicate, but they want to know what has been done, how it's been done, so that what lessons they can take back home. We are talking investments. And investment, I was just about getting into that session, that some of the things that the owner of fund has told us to do. Just like you are Lagos, you remember the issue with NIWA. And I know I said to the MD then, who is my friend, who is the next governor of Osun State, by God's grace, even when they wanted to flex federal power, I said, sir, investors will not bring that money to you. NIWA, focus. Everybody, please. I was about starting the conversation of what investors ask us to do and why certain things has to happen. And this is experience before somebody in that particular issue walked in. I think you've been there now I've known you now for about a decade plus. And we are now, I said that issue, we want investment, because they saw that this money is coming to Lagos. They felt now that the Supreme Court judgment has given inland waterways power to NIWA. I told them, this is government, that money is not going to come to you. Because investors have done their own work. They know where their work is going to bring them returns. If you like, have Supreme Court judgment in Nigeria, that's your personal problem, it's not your money. I didn't consult Laswa to say that. NIWA is my friend, the MD is my friend. Sir, investment have processes, and they brought that in later. Omieko was launched a few months ago. So because others are looking for investments, every topic that we have structured, every conversation we have structured has been structured on. In fact, we got a mail, the Nexim, Mama Nexim spoke here yesterday, as we were sitting, sir, Islamic Development Bank sent a mail. We want to do this. We are interested in social corridor, Nexim, Ceiling, Maritime Innovation Hub. There are so many things happening. On a particular email, in one paragraph, ready to fund ports and inland waterways project that has crossed feasibility development process. That you have done the work. If you have done the work, if you are presenting their seed, this was his money they need. It means they are asking for plus and minus. While we are on the other side and we are looking for the money, that's why I said this is not an event for speeches. We're about getting to the inland waterways part. Like I said, because of a whole lot of things that has happened in the country, Dangote refinery, opening up of Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, the opening up of Sokoto Badagry, which passes through 9 states on this side, 7 states on this side. Investors know that if we do ABC here, it will bring XYZ here. And they want private sector to have been able to do that work. Whosoever we know that cluster. So those are the things we are talking here. Money is on the table. A particular financier is saying, we will talk to you again after the event. And the questions they are going to be asking me is what I'm saying here indirectly. And one of the things we developed in the interest of everybody to now make this conversation serious is food. Why? 200 million people eat food. Why should food be transported by trailer? Why should food pass through 100 checkpoints before it gets to its destination? And at each and every checkpoint, they are paying money, and the end cost of that food comes to you and I. But if there is a legislation that mandates food to pass through inland waterways, it means you can sit down in Delta other food, whatever, livestock, agriculture as also called livestock, and the smokes. Those are the things that forces development. Those were the things that forced development in Lagos. How can you want to bring refinery to Lagos again after that meeting? Why not other places? And those were the things that forced Dangote to now say, I want to build another seaport in Ogun. Ogun now say, oh, I want to build airports. The people who put money in those projects, they are people that we relate with. Arise, when I was the governor of Ogun State, it was 1 a.m. in the night where we, come. He said, you are speaking to the converted. I have this, I have that, I have that. I'm happy you finally launched that airport. What I'm saying to every one of this, take us to investor, take us to this, what do we go back with? There are processes. The conversation that you are having, the feasibility work, the project process that you go through is what determines. If not, they will stand ready. And when you take over the microphone, Mr. Oluwadamilala, you can please break my lies. You just launched a call, only a call. You did this, what's this thing that they did? This water.
E1.
What did you call it?
E1 racing.
This racing thing. Did you see how many expatriates came in? As a Lagos are not there, they pay me. Why is everybody coming here? Are you with me? So please, those coming from other states, they said the person that was going to deliver the newer thing is on his way. This is their conversation. But then maybe we'll pass the microphone around and let everybody begin to speak to us, because there is a session on inland waterways. All these things are the things investors want to hear. For instance, let me just break it down. When Escravos yes, Burutu, this, that, and that, but all the things Mr. Philip has been sending to us, which he said they should send by mail, who exactly has, whether on the government side or the private sector, has a ready-to-fund project? Whether it's 1 naira, whether it's 2 naira, whether it's in hundreds of millions of projects, please, can I have that hand up in this room? That when we finish all this talk, we can take one thing and say this project is ready to be funded from so and whether from Niwa, whether from, do we have? Okay, while we are waiting for Niwa, in the absence of that, can I put you on the spot, sir? Can you be here to say something on the Lagos side? Once again, welcome the senior special advisor to the Lagos State Blue Economy. While waiting, like I said, if Niwa has come into the room, then we'll bring them back to their.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I really need to stand on the already established protocol and to just congratulate the convener of this. And to be honest, I just wanted to sit at the back quietly, and I really flew in just because for me, no knowledge is ever wasted. She's right. The reason why I wasn't here was because the major commission program in Lagos, I couldn't leave for my staff. I hear a sister agency from Lagos is also here. But I think it just speaks to the fact that the blue economy right now is the next biggest thing that Nigeria needs to fully develop. And when people ask and people talk about the blue economy, it's always a thing of are there untapped opportunities? I also think so. But beyond that is the fact that let's look at what is working at the moment and how do we harness what is working. So in the last 10 years of my life, I've spent it in the inland waterways of Lagos State, fully developing water transportation in Lagos. She mentioned that we just launched a 410 million euros project. It's a 5-year project and it started already. And within the next couple of years, you begin to see significant investments in the areas of ferries, terminals, dredging, and all kinds of activities. So within that area of inland waterways, Lagos State angle will fully develop. But for us, we don't want to do this in isolation. 28 out of 36 states have inland waterways. There's no reason why we shouldn't have water transportation thriving in other parts of the country. In America, 50% of their goods are moved by waterways. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be moving our goods by the waterways as well. So we're big advocates in Lagos to ensure. We've had about 4 or 5 states come to us and say, look, we want to develop our water transportation space the way you have. And the big question is always, are you ready to do what's required? By the time we tell them, we don't hear from them again because I guess they look at the size of the investment needed, they go back to their states and they can't get the real power because you also need the political will to also ensure that you can develop your inland water transportation space. So really for me, to be honest, is to say that, well, we're doing what we can do, we're happy with that space, but now we're also looking at the blue economy. This was a role I took upon about 6 months ago because I've done 10 years as general manager of Lagos State Waterways. But also now being a special advisor on blue economy is now to come up with a blue economy blueprint for Lagos. Because in several other areas, again, coastal tourism is already thriving, but we need to put structure into it. If you come to Lagos on the weekend, you see how busy these coastal areas are. We have a lot of fisheries going on, and we know there's a lot of illegal fisheries. I know there's something, and I know there's a lot with the federal government is doing. And we're clearly aligned with the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy because, again, you can't function in isolation. You must align with the federal government and make sure that you're doing whatever you're doing in alignment with the federal government. So we're looking at those key areas. The port development, we heard about the recent significant investment coming to the 2 major ports in Lagos. We believe that those kind of investment as well should go to even other ports as well. So other ports as well need those kind of significant investment as well. So to be honest, I'm really at a point where, you know, I think I'm a bit tired of always talking, and I think that I just want to see action and see things move. So anywhere there's a conversation going on around, you'll find us going there, coming there, contributing, making sure we can gain, see how we can learn, who can we help, who can help us. You know, and that's the reason why, to be honest, I decided to spend my weekend in Abuja. I've never spent a weekend in Abuja before. This is my first weekend in Abuja, but I decided I'll be here just to honor her and, of course, meet the people around the room. So thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Lewa. Delta State Government, do you want to say anything? Delta delegation, please.
Yesterday for me was enough, honestly. Yesterday for me was enough. But today we're here.
Today, I know, I asked to everybody the paragraph in the mail that we're talking about. Last week I was actually supposed to be in Abidjan, European Union, European Commission. They asked, Nexit is there, C-Link is there. Let me read that, so maybe we can now pass the mic from there. They are not interested in the stories that we are talking about. Ready to fund. Projects that have passed through feasibility studies.
Now there is a paragraph in one of the bills which I wanted to, which was why I said, what they said exactly that they are looking for, Nigeria should be ready with. When I see that, I will share, but that's the essence of my long story. What they said in a particular paragraph. We have money, we don't have the time to be looking through your books or going through this organization. Now you as a country, through this forum, we have ready available funding. I will check the email, that's what I'm looking for, so that can guide. And I asked, do we have anyone in the room, whether government or private, who have ready to fund projects? I said it, private or public, this is what they said we should look for. And I said, even the financier in America said they will ask us questions after the event. When you go and do the talk after the 3 days, do you have, like what's this book? Blue Ocean, it's in my hand. Ready to fund projects. Because no matter what they do, they will still come back to us. There are some things that come from C-Link. There are some things that came from the European Union, European Investment Bank, EBRD. There are some other things where we sign non-disclosure agreement, do not mention our name, nor show our logo in anything. They are coming to see 3 people. They were here in June. They were to come back in August. And we were to lead the minister and the head of agencies to a delegation in New York in October. $3 billion. So I'm not going through this stress because I'm not focused.
As Luke said, if there's a project that wants to be funded and the rest, I think most of us who are here from data, our objective is to identify projects to look for investors who will fund it. I have a particular interest of a company called Grado. Grado Limited is along Edu waterways in Warri. That company, they own about 6 acres of land. We are presently operating. They are presently building a 3,500 ton dry dock. It's a company that has facility where they can dry dock up to 3,500 ton vessel. They're looking for technical and financial. They're looking for financial partners. They're not looking for technical partners because they have all the things they need on the ground. But what they need is funding. Also there, along that area, there are fishing clusters in that area. What they are seeking for are those who establish processing zones for them. From fish to palm kernel processing. Those are the things they want. Other areas are there where, because I saw from one of the things from the email is that they want to go interested in infrastructure, road, rail, and the rest. Along the corridor between Asaba down to Buitu, communities there are interested, the farming communities and the rest are interested in jetties. Reclamation. We know fully well that Sea-Link and the Exim Bank are doing a corridor that leads to Buitu Port. So in that corridor, there are lots of investment opportunities that are there. But the critical thing is this: if you say where the projects, they would like to know what direction, what area are the investor looking for. If you say the one area where already need assessment, people like Grado and other ones who are there who are into fabrication, shipyard, and people who are doing 3,500 ton dry dock, 2,500 ton deadweight vessels. Those are major players in the both marine and oil and gas sectors. They want investors, but the question is, how do they get to the investors? That is the problem.
Projects, like what Philip rightly said, for there are maybe private driven projects, small scale, not too large, under maybe $1 million that some people are already working on. I do not know exactly what stage they have got to. That's why I've not responded to that question you asked. I need to understand, because they one in Delta, one in Bayelsa actually. They want to build fish hubs, where they can, become like off-takers to the local fishers and become like a central location where these people can sell their fish and they process them for export, right? So the two organizations are they are still working on their business plan, and I'm working with them on that to try to see how we can finalize it. Now, in defining what like you said, what do investors want? There are different kinds of investors. You mentioned some, I know. There's some of these DFIs that I've engaged with. They have what their risk appetite is all about, and some of them don't want to go below a certain figure, or a certain risk threshold. They try to avoid such, and whether we like it or not, even though we are promoting that our region is more investment friendly in terms of security of investment and all that, but the truth still remains that a lot of these foreign investors, even local investors, are still afraid, because every now and then they hear stories about what's happening to some of their vessels, or some vessels offshore and all that, and they don't have the appetite. So one area I've also discovered that might help with the people I'm talking with and any other person is to look at the option of insurance schemes. There's what we call the parametric insurance that provides capital and secures capital or secures investment even before the risk occurs. So that's what I'm also trying to inject in some of these proposals and these investment proposals that have come to my table so far. So until we get to that advanced stage, we may be able to respond to you and to any other investor as regards to what level we are ready, because we're still looking at certain aspects of the projects that we are looking at, to make sure. For instance, now in Braz, in Bayelsa State, or somewhere around Braz, maybe Philip will know more about it. But the feedback I got is that one of their major challenges is the pollution in their waterways. We're trying to site a fish shop there, and I even talked about it with you some time ago. That was the reason I was talking about it with you. So one of the things that they were asked is, okay, fine, if you want to do that, what is the guarantee that the fish stock will not be loaded with, carcinogenous, what do you call it, material, dioxins, furans, or whatever, microplastics? What's the guarantee? So that is what a foreign investor asked me. So it's costing a lot of money to try to see how we can get lab analysis of the waterways to make sure that if this fish has come with a fish, they don't come with polluted fish. So with these international standards for your export quality fish or whatever cannot even be met by some of these Nigerians and these local fishers. So scaling up their standards and all that is another area that seeks investment. Some investors are not ready to do that. They want something that's ready, like she said, ready to, just package and everything. So those are the challenges. It's a work in progress for us in Delta States and also in Bayelsa State. So I'm hoping that somehow I can hear some of the terms, granular, in a granular form of what these foreign investors or these investors that you have access to will tolerate or will want to give to our potential businesses. So once that is understood, it becomes easier to know whether we can readily provide our proposals or not. Thank you.
With the Delta State team. Now, my understanding of the event, invitation to state is come with, okay, let me just present Delta State. We came with MDAs, representatives from MDAs that cover just about any real opportunities from the Delta State perspective. So our coming here is to showcase what we have in Delta State on offer to investors, one, and financiers. So we're expecting to engage with those two ends and tell them what they stand to benefit if they come to Delta State. So we came with about, I think, 6 different MDAs, fully represented with enough information. I am representing power. There's nothing you are going to do without power. And I am here to stop them from making the same mistakes of plug and play, because you are looking at industries more or less. Agric is more or less processing. That's industries. From a power perspective, and which is why the Nigerian power sector is missing it, none of it actually took into cognizance that industrial demand from the power sector. I am here to at least guide on that and ensure any investor coming in to provide power is not going to do the usual plug and play, because I also have related with NEC. I represented NEC in Delta State for quite a while. I worked with the National Grid UK, so there's a wealth of experience from the Delta State team. So you can understand our, let me call it disappointment. That yes, you are presenting funding, but we're not seeing the investor that will tie into the Delta State opportunities. So yes, we can still discuss along the lines of
funding availability, which you have stressed on. So for us, again, try to understand our perspective. Delta State is ready, and I'm sure the different MDAs here can tell you what we have on offer. So it's just to tie in the investor to your funding and the opportunity in Delta State. I think we will need some more enlightenment along that line.
The same invitation that you received, sir, is the same invitation that every 36 state governors received. And it's because we understood, just like you said, that it is not just one thing. There are so many things in between marine and blue economy, and you just eat the one side, power. You can't operate the port without power, 24 power, just for instance. You can't, I saw climate change, which is part of, we saw renewable energy. In fact, your list, your delegation shows that this state knows what they are doing. And we, as an organization, Maritime Innovation Hub, with 50 clusters of what this two-day session, day 2 and day 3, is supposed to be. And that was exactly where the fight came in, that we cannot, I don't know, our thinking was too far from what the government felt. And because this has taken so long, sir, what you are saying is what we planned. Then people responded all over the world. And the same government felt, who sent you message? What is the correlation between agric and blue economy and other? All the confusion that this session, everything is here, submitted. And the authority, I'm saying that to you, the authority, which is the highest authority, said this is what should happen. The president, that is what is happening in his head. Who returned power to? Let every state generate their own power and all that. The conversation that you are anticipating is what the investors have on the table. Which one is power? Which one is boat building? Which one is inland waterways development? Let me read a mail to you, sir. So you understand why I say why the confusion is going on. Even they now want to cut us to 1 or 2. It was too late. We had called people. People are fleeing from different countries. And we are now saying, okay, minister now said, technical advisor to me, stay back. If some forces wants to destabilize this, anybody that wants to meet me, let me now come. What is that saying? Sir, let me read what European investments and the European companies are saying. I wanted to thank you very much for our meeting last Friday. It was a true pleasure to learn about your projects and activities. They were saying that to someone. We are looking to promote a Nigeria-focused project pipelining session during this between so dates. In this context, and let me once again thank you for the high quality and very constructive exchange we had last week in Abuja. We will begin to receive information on the selected projects in order to enable us effectively mobilize productive and financial private sector actors in the framework of our preparation. Regarding the project selection criteria, as discussed, these are at this stage mainly based on sectoral relevance and project maturity. The targeted sectors include, in particular, road, rail, power, maritime transport infrastructure, and equipment, including ports, maritime, dry ports, maritime infrastructure, and dry ports. You know, the Chief Executive Secretary, Shippers Council, talked about wanting investments in dry ports, which falls under their own. So this, now again, logistics, commercial and industrial platforms, and related infrastructure. Is there anywhere on those that is aligning with your expectation?
Yes, all of them.
Okay, sir. Mining, agribusiness. In terms of maturity, priority will be given to projects that ideally already have a need assessment, a market study, and a pre-feasibility and or feasibility study. Projects currently in the financing mobilization phase are also of particular interest. This is the people that owns the money.
Okay, sorry, if I may come in at that point. Now, I don't see how me providing an opportunity for you to do business will do a feasibility study. We are here to get that investor to build those documents. That's the whole essence of the engagement. The state cannot build those documents for an investor. The investor will build these documents and determine if there's a potential there or not.
As a state, your readiness now will necessitate us writing a bill back. That this, I'm coming, let me just round up this. We understand that one of your priorities with the sealing program was not only with inland waterways as one of our targets. Between public and private financial partners and European companies, in order to facilitate the implementation of investments, of course, in close coordination with your teams, and within a collaborative and ownership-driven approach. We are currently, they are saying, we are currently in contact with a wide range of sectoral associations, public and private banks and companies, blah, blah, blah. We propose to join, once the project information is received, we propose to jointly review and agree on a short list, and then for each selected project to engage in more technical discussions on the most appropriate way forward. And I will leave the rest. What they are saying, which the room or the Nigeria is expecting, particularly the system that we're working with, let those people come to us directly. And those people are saying, see, we understand the complexity of your system. It's not our problem. Whatever, whether Nexim, Sealing, Maritime Innovation Software are doing, now you have extended this information. If you find one, which we have found, Delta, are you with me, sir? We will now scale down because Delta is public, now acting private, looking forward, oriented. You understand? You want investment in your state. The governor signaled this team who has been working for like 2-3 months. Your composition already shows the area of interest and alignment. And I keep repeating, if your only state, your state is the only one that this conversation is all about. That was what, do you understand? And that's one of the reasons I said, no matter what, go forward. If not, this room would have been full of projector, this and that, that. After is what they are interested in. This is just one. This group may not address it. There is another one, like I said, I'm saying this on record, is the one that destabilized me the most. They came on June 25. I ran to Lagos to meet my minister. And since that time till now, 9 months before we got here, finish all these phases. When you say out of 10, out of 100, out of 3, it's 1, 2, 3. That said this one, federal government or state government or private. So there is some level of work that will be on ground that will not say, after, they said we will now review with you after the event. Are you with me, sir? What you are saying, let me say, Mr. Damilola, you are in Lagos. Do we have power, 24-hour power in Apapa port? We don't. Let me give an example to power, sir. So you understand, it's still what you are saying. When the which admission? Jonathan administration privatized power. The only organization that had the technical whatever was Siemens and General Electric. Siemens came to our office, they were engaging. What did they say? Every state generate your own power. Every company. Shoreline Power, which I worked with as a consultant, led by a German CEO who's my friend there, was generating power for Lafarge. This is the thing government doesn't understand, that investments, when I'm saying government, I'm not saying Delta, or maybe public sector. Now, because investors, like I said, their interest is their money and the protection of their capital. They won't talk about your national problem with you. Now then, the president of that administration opened up power. Shoreline Power was generating power for Lafarge. Lafarge is a cement manufacturing company. Gas plants, turbine plants, and whatever, there are 3. In fact, HR says we can't handle the technical manpower or power side. let's face other business, have another HR led by all company under facility. Another Dutch company was generating power for Nigerian breweries, Coca-Cola and all that. We were moving for the ports. Hold on, sir. Investors came, invested, banks invested up to 5 trillion, including Tony Elumelu. Are you with me? Government fired 40,000 people, manpower, civil servants. Siemens told us, are you looking at the clusters of investors? Siemens told us they are untrainable. Even if we want to train this 40,000, it can't work. We have invested trillions. We need human power. That cost another 75 billion. Sir, till today, 15 years later, Apapa, that this president is now mobilizing investors too. You understand? So power alone, that you said, the investors are another value chain. But power is connected to the ports. In the same way, this man, who was former minister of Batinaji, has another power solution for Abba, because he understands that place, which concerns manufacturing. Those network is what they see that we do not have fully organized. But we are always asking for money, and we are always having seminar. So you can go and have this final seminar. Money is available. When they saw confusion between government and all that, they now said, go and put the head. What they asked last week, I want to go out, like I said, of this meeting also with one thing. I have 1 or 2 or 3 that is even at some level. You understand? I said these are the most serious ones. You can now begin to engage with them. This is the head of the delegation. Are you with me, sir? This is the focal person to talk to. At that, sir, they will not engage if they don't see us there. Is it making any sense?
Can we say something, please? You talk about investment and the rest. I want to read to you a company in Delta State, in Warren. Their turnover is 12 billion.
Yeah.
Turnover is 12 billion.
Okay.
I'm talking about the credit, and I'm going to use it at the other ones in that corridor. Now, this one is what they said. The attractive return on investment is between 27 to 35% return on investment. Potential market backed by capital laws and local content policies, driving domestic demand, strategic advantage, position as a leading indigenous yard in the maritime sector of Nigeria. How investors can participate. 1. Debt financing, primary options, long-term equipment financing aligned with blue economy initiative, asset-based with stable cash flow support. ID for banks and direct investment, equity participation, strategic stake in high-growth maritime infrastructure, assets, long-term upside, visa-driven and variable growth. Direct financing of dry dock or machinery, lease or sharing revenue structure for predictable returns, strategic partnership. Now, what they're asking is this. They have contracts from the oil and gas sectors with Chevron and Mobil to supply them vessels and the rest. They have vessels that they want to refurbish. What they are seeking for is financial partners. I want to get I will tell them, we spoke to them, they registered for the fair, but instead they said they won't be able to make it. What will I tell them? They said they will create a job of 1,600 workers. Presently, they have close to 500 workers working there. So what they're asking is this. They've registered for the fair. I'm talking on their behalf now. How can they get the investors? I will give you what their own, I've read out what their requirement and the rest. They are not looking for market, the market is already there. They are doing the dry dock. Yeah, they are doing the dry dock, which is going to cost about 6 billion. They spend about 3 billion. They have about 9 vessels on the ground they want to dry dock. So, how can they benefit after participating in such a fair like this? How can investors come in? There are multiple companies in that stretch along Idu River who are in the same situation.
Like I said, you have come with Coming here, you have communicated this. You have given this. You have given shots of them. We will take it off from you from there. And we will report the name of the organization, all these things you have said. Even this video that you have said about, you understand? And then wait for the meeting after that, not a general meeting. Investments are sealed in small roads. I hope you know that we talked about the launch of a particular fund. Few days to this event, we are looking at, this is another cluster, not what I just read. Projects that you have mentioned like this, that they want to fund. If it comes to them sharing profit with the owner and all that, of course, they are investing their money for a purpose. Are you with me? The general event was not meant for Delta alone, was for everybody. From that one, we pick up. And I keep telling you for months, itemize all these things. Let it be in a document. Let us have it. Because we are reporting it back. The only fight that is happening now is why not us, government directly. Some parts, and some parts who understand that because you are government does not mean they will come so because government doesn't have money. You understand? You tell Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy to sponsor this now, or fund or something. They have clear. It's not our problem, but we can give back and say this helps the dynamics of what we have said in our policy, in our meetings, in this and that. And they said it must be driven by the private sector. This is what you're looking at. But financial says, see, fine, you have gotten to this level. Bring this kind of thing that Prince is talking about, or Mr. Philip. Bring it to us. That is the takeout. If it, do you understand? To give further credibility is now say you saw the whole government yesterday, and they say even if you want to meet us, we are still here. But at the end of the day, it is still Maritime Innovation Hub. That is the private sector at the center of all of this. You have not lost anything, sir. And the next meeting, whether it's going to be at the ministry or in Delta or wherever, you will now see those people on the table. That is when they will now be looking into books. If they are questioning Grador, it is not me. Do you understand? They are now asking questions on their books, operation, or this. Because they also have some on their own team. What you are put forward, who and who in their own team is relevant to this conversation. But all their own business interest is, I have money, I want to invest. Your country should not stress me too much. You must have lifted your own edict and see that when I come in, plus or minus, all the English is leading us somewhere. But we are not interested in audition. Do you understand? So we are almost there. Itemize these things. Give it to us. 1 or 2 is what we came back with. Then see the meeting that's come back to you. Then you and Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, through the office of the Honorable Minister, will now see whether meetings or funding will happen or not.
Is it okay that we send our business?
Bring it up.
Okay.
When you hand it over, you hand it over to me.
Okay.
With the public
private.
representative.
That's private.
No, when I mean, that what did you see that the ministry gave back into Maritime Innovations Hub?
Okay.
We are now responsible for how that document moves.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
Investor is not the problem.
Okay.
They are on ground. Sir, the central bank governor is one of the people that put me on this. Every step of the way, they ask questions. Are you with me? I am not playing. They are not interested in talks. Bring it up. And we tell you the appropriate authorities, sir. That is why the minister said it's the technical advisor that is calling now. If you don't bring it up, you are just saying and saying. Investors say they don't have the time for all the talk.
The speaker of yesterday discussed elaborately on restoration of mangroves. It talks about those areas maybe within our waterways. And Delta State has a large amount of mangroves. And there is an organization in the state that is presently working on planting of mangroves, production of biochars, and regenerative agriculture, all meshed together. And they are targeting the Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, that is trying to get carbon credits.
Sequester carbon.
Yes, to sequester carbon, maybe carbon stock and all this stuff. They have done the formal registrations. They have even done their product design documents. I think everything is set. Well, I think what they are really looking for now is financiers to those projects. They wanted to build a bioshat facility, you know, production of bioshat for maybe, especially for farming and all those other activities. I think what I'm saying is that that organizations that are looking for maybe financiers to funding opportunities for that project. I don't know whether it can fall on this aspect.
That thing you're saying, sir, is very valid. It may fall under the interest of one particular financier, and it may not mean anything to another. Another one says, see, what we want to fund is vessel offshore. In fact, that person, by the time we reached him, we had even concluded this because I have the documents since 2021. And the master has a funding, $700 and something million CVFF, which they said this and after everything. Then their own is, you don't even need to have these assets. If you get the work, they are working with NNPC and some other DFS and other. Their own is offshore vessel. You get a job, Chevron this and that, come, we'll give you the vessel, I say go and do it. They already see your commercial and other. That is their own interest. If I'm talking mangrove, are you with me, sir? It's not their own business. But it doesn't mean they are not financiers. They are very clear. The document is here. But let me tell you why validation works and why we insisted for 2 years and the last 9 months. If we are not an organization validated by the government, there are some conversations that won't happen on behalf of Nigeria. There are some conversations they refuse to talk to the minister, sir. They refused to talk to the minister. They spoke to the central bank governor because of their personal global respect for him. And he said it's not going to interfere in their work.
Sorry,
but
if I might cut in, he's asking if any of your funding sources will be interested in this project.
You have said what you wanted to say. Abi, we put it down. Which government? Which government?
Yesterday in the speech, the last speaker of the speech.
Is it blue bond accelerators?
That's for blue bonds.
Somebody, I listened to that speech.
They were the last, yes, they are the last speaker.
Yes.
The white lady.
Yes.
Why are they not here? They are in the country. I'm telling you, I know what they're saying.
Now what he said that the area she said they are interested in.
That is
The area he said
another
that. No, wait, hold on. The area the woman says she's interested in is the area he said they've gone far in that process.
That's what
How do you try
that
to
is
get
blue
them?
bond, sir.
Yeah.
That is blue bond accelerator. There is a meeting at 6 p.m. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, they can meet.
It doesn't mean they are not interested in power. Are you with me?
No. Let's
Madam, you're not understanding
You're not
it. He's asking a
understanding.
simple
What I said
question.
is this.
Sorry, sir, if I may. All he's expecting is, yes, we have somebody who can fund. Pure and simple, then take
I'm
it
saying yes
forward.
on their behalf by 6 p.m.
No, man.
No, madam.
Yes, there's somebody, they will be available by 6 p.m. I think that's a better response.
Why we say this because somebody, the lady yesterday said, this is the area we want to form. And what she said yesterday, form is previous. So what is that saying
But do
that?
you know, listen, we are small. Let us argue for once.
Yeah.
Let us get ourselves before. But do you know that white lady that you are talking about, those 3 people, the reason why we are organizing meeting is that the same ministry, not minister of justice, is saying that this is not part of our agenda.
Listen by 6 p.m. Is that aware of it? When is the meeting going to take place? How are they going to meet?
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
So that's all. You just need to tell them how they
They
can
don't
meet.
control their schedule, madam. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And when they are doing that, see, let's be explicit. I understand what you're saying. But do you know when you mind them together again? When this conversation starts, they will still keep referring back to?
I'm still a little bit confused because
You know their session is today. You know their session is today.
I know.
No, you didn't know. Their session was today.
Wait.
Sir, Mr. Philip, well, let me make this one statement.
Please wait. Somebody has come to say, I'm interested in funding such a thing.
Yesterday.
Since your invitee says, I'm funding this thing, you also invitee says, I have all it takes.
Yeah.
What I expect to say, okay, you know what? Let me create a forum, which is the essence of we coming here, where they can now meet and then take it off from there.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, they will still report back to you. If such a thing happens, that is one good advantage of
Coming for
seminar.
the program. It's like
I
time
heard you,
too.
sir. Like I said, those people, you wouldn't have heard anything that was in there. Their session is today. One of them said he's tired. One of them said, please, I need to freshen up, blah, blah, blah. And today, they are in the country till Monday. The meeting for 6 p.m. has been established. Are you with me? At that meeting,
Meeting with whom?
Now we don't know.
with another group, which is government.
Indirectly, you are saying they are
No.
not going to fund this project.
Yes,
Because I don't
They are with you. After that, we will come up with you are here for 3 days.
No.
Tomorrow, I can't force their schedule. By 6 p.m.
See, madam.
By 6 p.m.
People came.
If they are doing that meeting, there is another man that have said this and that, and we are exchanging. Mr. Philip, what time is convenient for that man?
See, people, he is here. He's leaving tomorrow. The essence of this meeting is yesterday, today, tomorrow. Wow.
There is one established meeting by 6.
What kind
And
of
before that 6, it's not the same. By that 6 before, I'm talking to somebody in the team. Are you with me? Okay, your own cannot be 7 p.m.
I see, you know, in the morning, we were asking when. Could you also give us a specific time?
That one said 12.
You just told us everything as from 12.
He
So we're trying to
let us say
we didn't get back to 12.
Yesterday, sir, we respect your
I'm going
time.
somewhere.
Please give him the microphone.
I'm going somewhere. From the talk or the speech given yesterday, and with what my colleague was saying, the term matches what we actually expected. Not saying that there is a meeting for another meeting by 6, it's an established meeting, but it's not for us. We can't even see them.
Sir, you will go back. If you
What we just need, give us the link and that's all. Give us the connection to them, and that's all.
Sir, so, as I'm sitting here, sir, yesterday in the hotel, they're asking for Wi-Fi. We sent somebody to the facility manager. They said they don't have Wi-Fi. If there is anybody that communicates on the move the most, is Oyinbo. They killed us with communication more than ministry that we are going in and out. So somebody asked for Wi-Fi. It does not exist in the place. It's not easy for them to sort meeting. They're asking for WhatsApp number, which only the Nigerian person has. But they have said 6 p.m. Are you with me? And something has come out that again needs their attention at that 6 p.m. We will now say so person, can they join that meeting for 6 p.m. because they have their own schedule. Their schedule for here was today. But we said, despite all the challenges that they are facing personally, in fact, Catherine couldn't make it because she was supposed to fly by 5 and she didn't have a visa. How did you make it? I was presenting a visa issue by our Minister for Foreign Affairs. But she said, no. I'm still jet lagged. I need to sleep. I need to rest. Uche, please. Do you understand? She doesn't have WhatsApp number. She doesn't have Wi-Fi. Says she gets back to her hotel. She needed to sleep. And I know 6 p.m. Between now and that 6 p.m., I'm trying to see what the agenda is. Let me tell you, they brought
Okay, Princess. You have another speaker. Kindly listen, let them also tell you. Okay?
When I left out, I personally went to Nancy because we were talking with them before and Silly. And it was there they told us, and it was the same speech they made yesterday. This is the program they have. This is how it's going to affect Delta State. That was how we went there. We did not go there. We went to have on behalf of the state, but we have from them. So So now I want to plead with you. That opportunity of 6 o'clock, see what you will do to see that they meet and they have a take back from me.
Sir, I told you, today there is a time. But the same persons, if you are, do you understand? Sent invitation, sir, for Director General, if Madam please listen, Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission to be here. The same group sent a letter to Deputy Governor, CBN to be here, who are sent people. Are you with me? You are not meeting with them because it's only them. They have their own discussion. If they are organizing for that 6 p.m., for those people to be there, and they finalize, and we said, oh, by 5 p.m., this and this and that, 6 p.m. is happening. Are you with me? They are not in their hotel sleeping. They sent the information to 9, and I told you, DG-SEC, DMO, Debt Management Office, Deputy Governor, Central Bank, who have all sent representative here. That's what we are saying. That things are not being explicit. It's not mean that something is not ongoing. I'm happy she talked about food now. You saw banks had already been packed. People are on their way. We are not stupid to gather people. But somebody said, I can't do 8 o'clock meeting. I'm jet lagged. But that should you understand? But somebody who wants to invest, like you are saying, before they left their country, called Director General, Security and Exchange Commission. So they are ready for you.
I stressed one thing. You said funding is available. And we're expecting funding and investors. We are creating an opportunity for them to do business, either from a funding perspective or from the investment perspective. Now, so my colleague has said, this is available. All we expected from you is, yes, there's a funder available for such a project. No stories. Or no, there's no funding available. No, please, I beg. I'm tired of the stories, please. No, there's no funding available. Pure and simple. That's all we're expecting.
I can't say yes to what I didn't know was discussed.
Okay, there's no funding available.
But he
Simple.
said it, and I told you 6 p.m. because
No, ma'am. We're not in your head. We're not party of that 6 p.m. meeting. We're not aware before now. There's no need of bringing it up because we're not related to that meeting. Yes, there's a funding available. No, there's no funding available. Pure and simple. And there's no need for all those plenty stories.
And we have discussed that before.
Yes, ma'am.
We have discussed that before. We said solution is available for that, right? And we said after this meeting, there will be another one-on-one, whether it's in Delta. What he said, I didn't hear it yesterday. And now you've clarified. I said, but that team, they have something for 6. Uche is on the phone. That's my own argument. If somebody says 6 and asking for WhatsApp, he's looking for how I can communicate better. As they landed, they were asking for Wi-Fi. Maybe with that, we would have been able to communicate better. And they said 12. We are still holding you on priority. 2 things now that Delta needs meeting with. We will sort it. But let's continue this conversation. Niwa said they are in mosque. Those are my own issues. They said they are coming. Anybody that wants to have a break can have a break. But the shaking of yesterday is what has brought this confusion. We can't take that away, and we have managed it. You understand? This particular
Just completely let it be that. The key is that you as a team communicate to them, and they cannot bring them to at least
So like I said, they were just like, when we are talking about investment, I do not know why they wrote to the DG Security Exchange Commission. They invited the Debt Management Office, the Director General by themselves, asking us to dispatch a letter. They invited the Deputy Governor, CBN, like I said. If we are talking investment, they have their reason to want to have this solid arrangement. You understand? Finance is very wide. I have not yet understood their scope. If not for the fact that somebody mentioned, I didn't know that that came out of conversation. They were actually eating, and I told them to finish their food, but still come on stage. Let people know you are here for a reason. Are you with me? So if they are saying, get us a WhatsApp line, we are not going to get a Nigerian SIM, coordinate with Uche. You understand, then I'll tell. But like I said, one person was willing to go ahead and told me, Theodore, maybe because he's a man. The other lady said, I can't do anything. I'm exhausted. But when I hear 6, I'm here. I know 6 is Hilton, Transcorp Hilton. But like I said, investment has different legs. They are the owner of the fund. Do you think they don't have a reason why they invited the DGSEC? Are you with me? DMO, Debt Management Office. They can talk to Delta government until I sit with them, and if their invitation is not serious, I personally, on my phone here, I'm dealing with the CBN governor. If he wants to delegate, he sends somebody to represent him. He already told me before the event he won't be present. Even though he is the major person behind one of the biggest portfolio on the table. Like I said, their own conversation has not opened here because of non-disclosure agreement. But when the BBA that we're talking about wrote on their own deputy governor and he sent 2 people, you understand? We working with the government, and the minister now saying all his head of agencies and the TA, no matter what, must stand and be given. They said he asked so. That your speech, they told snap to the minister. He said, wait, what did Olu say? That's how far it is. What did Olu say? I said, this is their paper. Sir, some people are asking for the minister's speech yesterday, including the media. I don't even have a copy, but I know I can always get it. Tell Leke to send it to me. Are you understanding? Even as we are here, different conversation is ongoing. So even as much as you think it's just you want to engage with them, they don't live here. They have their own personal program, March 9 to 18, Lagos and Abuja, and they rolled it up and said we will align with this. I need to allow them as they land to reach their own people. When they reach their own people and say this is the time, I need to allow them. I will now go to the WhatsApp. If not, email. Okay, there is this team, there is this, that. Are you with me, sir? If not for the confusion, like I'm telling this, these are the Abuja people. I said, even if he's here, we have just paid our 3 days. We did not even do all the elaborate thing. We just sat down here and people have quality session. People are fine if it's 100 people meeting. And they go back with what they want. And those 100 people are not ruffled. No confusion. Do you understand? So bear with us just as you have understood. If it's only because of Delta State government, I am willing to go all in. I sent you a list. I said, do you think this will look direct again? What's it called? Commissioner. This. You looked at the entire value chain. All the things he has been saying to us, I said, document this thing on email. When this man called me, I said, you are the first person that sent a mail in January. Because approval came in December. Then when they mentioned you as ministry, there's one ambassador ahead. When you got this one, I've heard that before. What we are saying is that what you think is only you and now. When government gives validation, you'll be surprised how far he goes. And I saw it happen in the very first meeting of this president. He won election in February. Immediately, the Prime Minister of India sent something to them. And they said in May, are you with me, sir? In May, our Prime Minister is going to be sending a delegation How did Tinubu win election in February? Immediately, I remember February, something like that. Our Prime Minister is going to be sending a delegation to Ashiwaju's inauguration. We would like to introduce you to the team. This was led by the Minister for Defense. February, March, April, May. The meeting was meant to be in the villa on the eve. There were 3 dinners. It was the dinner of 28. There were some things were moving fast. Buhari was still president. Batting is only going to change when they do the normal officiating and the batting until Buhari leaves that stage. You understand? So we delayed that meeting till immediately after. And the Prime Minister's representative, Narendra Modi, his representative at that meeting was Minister for Defense and other delegation. So that person now said they should not worry about his own ticket or access, that he will get his access through here. So that he is recommending us, he is on the 2 sides of the Prime Ministers. His men are here, 4 of them. They didn't show up, they show up today, this morning. They are just men on jeans. You understand? So are you with me? So between that February, conversations in May, between May and September, there was G20. G20 in India. The president, I know, he traveled like 14 days thereabouts. We met him there. In all of those times, lists were ongoing. Who are your people? Private sector. Make sure you are the one that speak at the event. You are the one that know. It's not big event. It's meeting. One-on-one meeting, one table. You are the one who want to speak with, but there must be at least 6 people on that meeting. Make sure they are people that have viable business. Lists were being coordinated. They are giving Ministry of Foreign Affairs some instruction. Sir, they are ambassador. If I call him now to become an Indian ambassador, High Commissioner has been involved and the other woman. Because those people are their hoga. You think you are talking to High Commissioner, who are they? High Commissioner is going to go to their house to report to them. So when the presidency compiled this according to sector, pharmaceutical, tech and all that delegation, do you know what the High Commissioner did? He flew to Lagos. He could not communicate with the Oga. The Oga is not in government. He's the Prime Minister's friend. He's not telling me that in their own order of hierarchy, as the Prime Minister representative is coming, he's supposed to pay obeisance to him first. So who would it have been that he will go and bring High Commissioner now came? Sir, this is the list presidency has approved. Where are your people? He now said the only person they recognize there is Goa. Sir, how many months do we have from February to September? It didn't end there. When we got to India, the president had a session September 6, which is the private sector. There's one woman that's supposed to be here. She's the chairman of Ogubuandong Free Zone. There are over 60,000 Nigerians working on that facility. There are over 135 companies on that facility. She was appointed by her brother, the Ogun State governor. When the issue came to the governor, within 24-48 hours, he had got tickets. I was supposed to be on it. I don't have booked my own hotel. Sir, 48 hours, they told her to stay back at home. By the time the governor arrived in that country, you understand, the private sector already aligning with the governor. Now the president, when he got there, you know what, he took the microphone on behalf of Nigeria. It was his first investment outing. I was there. There is a man called Induja, peace Google it. He's an 80-plus-year-old man. He has over $50 billion investment in America alone. He's been trying to enter Nigeria for so many years. I don't know how the president got that information. The president did not sit down. He said, call him. The man wanted to sleep. Just the way I wanted to sleep the day Dr. Maritime called me. They said the president of the federal court and that is calling you. He said, what? What? He was shocked. He thought it was a joke. It was Wale in the office of Mr. Wale joke that they sent on that. When they came, give me your answer. This is how Tinubu said, I'm aware you're behind trying to come into our country and it's been difficult. I am willing to remove all the bottlenecks. Please communicate to these 2 ministers, Wale Edo and Doris Anite. And they must be giving me reports every month about your company. Induja was shocked. That is government validity that we are talking, validation that we are talking about. That man has brought over $5 billion investment into the steel sector. So government does not have money, but has validated you, your investment will come. Communicate with 2 ministers. Whether those ministers like you or not, they have mandated. So when some people from their team, again we sent a note to Radguta from the same source, When they responded, sir, I was shocked. The 3 men, they have worked in this and they said, we don't want to say anything. Google them, hygiene industries. They are in steel, renewable energy, this and that, manufacturing. If you have pots in your house, their pots is inside your house. If you have any they have 14,000 employees. How many states do we have? 36. They are operating in 35. You can't use president to bamboozle them. They will just call him or somebody on the phone. I sit with Ashibaju for over 25 years, he knows. Are you with me? So I'm rounding up. Understand when we are saying government validation. Some investment that your paper cannot work. State has validated you. They now said you know them, yes. They don't know they can make any call. Government may even want to prove a point and say that it should happen. It will happen. Do you understand, sir? Why did Oyinbo say SEC, DMO, CBN? Is their conversation. I allowed them to rest. So understand why we were insistent. There is nobody, despite the challenge.
No problem,
please. Thank you. You understand? I don't need to be all the you understand?
The last man there is on this way. Maybe we can put seats, some seats, so that we can, because all of us are not the same height.
That's our sort of it.
I just knew that there was issue. That's the number one reason that the two reasons, like I said, first one is to try to use this platform to let all know that the worry is ready for the big. It's more than just maritime. There's fisheries, there's agriculture. Do you understand? You mentioned renewable energy. I told you about fish farm.
This is really important. She will reach out. I'm happy to have you. Okay, let's take that so that it's easy to pass the microphone.
Jenna, pleasure. Fidelis.
See, they are going up. You give it them since they can walk.
Hello. How are you? What's your name? Vincent. Good to see you. Fidelis.
You don't need to hold them.
He's an old friend, so I just wanted to catch up with you.
I am not whether you are here or not. And if
You say you will.
They were here today. They were here today. Okay, what about saying?
We're meeting at 5 o'clock.
They are not coming here.
No.
Okay.
No, we're struggling to get hold of them there.
Okay, what about DMO?
DMO, we met today. Yeah.
You met with them today?
Yeah.
So, I was saying that you have your own network. And what you're doing, since they asked you, you have the right to relate to those organizations. So nothing is in isolation. You need to wait for your affiliation. You know what you want in Nigeria. If it's aligning with them, then you need to engage with them. The TA just left here. He said he has a meeting with you by 6. So I know that you were, in fact, I did see your email. I said, you were trying to fix your internet, you were trying to fix your rest and all that. So, and I'm happy you're here. So
It's my mother.
Delta, sir. Delta, sir. Please, can you help me call the show? Then the other man will find alignments and could ask any question that he wants. So it's still because of this and that day, just decided to meet outside instead of all of them to have been in the room together.
I don't mind that you did so. My own is that.
That he knows the post. Oh, this is not the way. That's the reason for the collaboration with Maritime Innovation. So when things come into the country, some things happen. You are communicating with the government on one platform. Even
including the presidency. And that cost time, what you're supposed to do for 12 months is taking you 3 months. It makes sense because investment doesn't have time for long stories. People have to. The fund is not for play. It's about the viability of whatever. So structure matters. Without that structure, every other thing looks like a waste of time. For whatever reason, they said it's better we share about and align it. Did everything possible. Bring the resources of kind of nonsense. Internal cleanup. Internal restructuring. Because this is a national conversation.
So what do you think about June 4th?
So, which we have achieved. We'll finish this meeting, we'll all go back and reappraise. Because when you send out information, different things come.
So what's the end of June?
Blue economy is very big. You can't leave it to ports and because I didn't want to do something different. You want to move far.
Are you from Nigeria?
You know, and you are putting up with because you have coastal highway.
That Nigeria not funding available.
Not straightforward like this, but yeah. So tell us a bit more, yeah, maybe about what you're.
Okay, now I'm from Delta State. We came with representatives from different backgrounds, national and government MDAs that we felt would be of interest to investors, mostly on the coastal front. Now myself, I came as a power expert, one of the directors from the Ministry of Energy. So my own responsibility here is to ensure whatever projects are going to be undertaken, there's going to be reliable power.
We got this one yesterday, right?
Okay, yes. Yeah, so now in today's session, someone asked a question about mangrove and restoration and benefits from carbon, carbon credits, they said, or something along the line. And it was mentioned that one of the people who presented yesterday made mention of that exact project. So we're interested in engaging with the people that made that presentation and see how we could take it further.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, so my colleague has a company that have done all their studies and are looking for funding. So that was where we were before she now said you have come around. Right. So how do we tie your own proposals with what we have available in Delta State?
Do you want to go first, maybe? Yeah, so WhatsApp is the West Africa Sustainable Ocean Program. So what we are doing is supporting 13 countries in West Africa, and we're helping develop the blue economy in those countries. And we interact mainly with governments and DFIs and banks, so at the national level, the state level. That's when we were talking to the gentleman, I can't remember his name.
He's the head of the IPA, the Investment Promotion Agency of Delta State.
Anthony?
Anthony.
Yes. Okay, let me see if I can get him.
But we don't need to talk to him again.
We spoke to him yesterday.
Presented Delta State.
Okay.
And we work mainly with government entities, so not directly with private.
Okay. Yeah. So now, is it possible, or from your discussion with him yesterday, what was the outcomes, or what did you plan? Any other meetings? Did he invite you to Delta? Are you looking to come to the presentation in the States, at least take it further than this seminar?
Yes. So what we were thinking is like to review the document that he has with all the project that is already, validated by the Delta state, and then see how we can bluify it. So make sure that they have, a blue envelope and something that is very coherent for the entire state. Yeah.
Sorry, can you give me a number? Let me send you a small video, something they did. So something along the coastal blue line. I'll send it to you so you can.
Or feel free to send us directly.
Do you have the
I
WhatsApp?
can give you my number.
Okay.
Give you my WhatsApp.
Sorry,
Send by WhatsApp.
Let me save.
Yeah.
So WhatsApp has specific technical advisory activity. So that's the support they provide, for example, to assess the opportunities in the mangroves or what can or needs to be done on the fishing and agriculture side to provide that level, that project support at project level. While the Blue Accelerator will focus more on support with, if you want, as Delta State, with a comprehensive portfolio that can include green projects and blue projects combined. What we are noticing is, and not just here in Nigeria, to be honest, everywhere in the world, in many moments, it makes more sense to do a combined package, right? And it's green and blue in it rather than going 100% for blue. Depends on where you want to focus.
We have all of that opportunities in Delta, and we're looking to progress along those lines.
Yeah, and that's amazing. That's exactly one of the things we need to do. Sorry, just to get my head around this, what is your role compared to Anthony's? Like, how are you?
More like the expert of part. Just you put in a generating plant or putting solar panels. I'm still expected to consider how those for the lifespan of the project. So power majorly, that's my role. I advise Tony on power.
How long will you?
Resources, vibrant culture, and extensive coastlines, and a network of rivers. Delta State offers a natural hub.
So you've had your meeting with SEC, GMO?
We
have meeting with SEC now. Okay, sir.
East, and a key player in West Africa.
Yes, do you mind if I'm there?
So we'll definitely be expecting you in Delta State.
I really look forward to that. It's the nicest state of law, right?
Yes.
The nicest one in Nigeria, right? Delta State?
Yes.
It's the prettiest one, right?
Yes, it actually is.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah, see you. Nice to meet you, Eddie, right?
Yeah, yes, Eddie.
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
So, sir, whatever people invest in them, sir. So they've, all the people they were supposed to fill in, they have now decided to have their missing outside and all that. So, but then they sent a lot of things to us from that. There's one I saw wood. I saw plenty wood somewhere. I said, what is this about? And they said there are people that contribute. What is available? I want to sell my business for 90 days. I want to say, like, when you come back, I want to go back to business.
Yeah, that's
if I'm positioning business, I know it's coming on the 5. Business is getting up on the 6.
2 ways they said they were allowed the business to come to the country. If we put our own part of the investment or we get a contract.
I think government itself was happy. When they saw that, it's like I said, climate change, everything, they came ready. And we will not disappoint the state. I think if the minister needs to, even at the president mentioned, if people do anything with that government, it shows how serious the government is. So post this event, whether Mohammed will come to Monday or Monday will come to Mohammed, the president is an example. So I don't know whether the minister that will, something will happen, Sha.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, we're private. We're private.
Yeah, I personally will still pay a visit to the team that is coming.
Please, the ONU will be very willing to receive you if you decide you want to come and visit us.
Facilitate that meeting. That's another beautiful opportunity.
I'm telling you, the ONU will be very happy to see you. So please.
If whatever everybody
let me autograph that for you.
Funny enough, his own region is coastal all through.
Let me find the only interest is vessel, their company. And I just opened that particular little, they are all the option.
Ever there are vessels that have been like that. I said, what I was saying, what you are looking for has not featured in the conversation. And he was looking and said, this is what this particular company is doing. They are doing with NNKC. And he was like, you know, you are in the space. That's one lady that just stood up. Keziah, so she did. What they are, the cluster of funding that aligns with what it is. You have a contract with that person. You can fund it. Or you don't have the legal vessel. Or whatever. Offshore vessel. Yeah, this is all the processes I showed that you know, and so it's a very, very big space. But for Delta, like I said, they send so many things there, so they send them in so we can keep a track. We can track it together and say, only this state has this, has that need and that. So when it comes to say, oh, they belong to this capital, they belong to this. IFC is working with us, National Finance Corporation. Their country director, you know, a whole lot. So,
your flash. Your flash now.
So again, we apologize. Apologize.
Stop now.
That's where his interest is.
I told him he's not going home with this car. Taking it. This is your stop now like this. What
was really down? I was tell you to get that.
So I'll read this, I promise.
As I'm reading that, I'll tell you if you answer.